Good afternoon. Hey, this is Dr. Stone. Good afternoon. This is Dr. Stone broadcasting live from the mobile principal's office. Got a new book I'm going to read to you today. My wife said this book reminds her of me. Let's see. Ralph tells a story. My teacher always said, stories are everywhere. This is one of my favorite books, by the way. And the kids in my class were always finding them. But every day at writing time, I thought real hard. I stared at my paper. I stared at the ceiling. I could not write a story. I got to take this off so I can finish reading it. It's really cool stuff. I have no story. So I looked for other things to do. I went to the water fountain. I roamed the hallways. I tried everything. Then one day, after getting sent back to my desk, I begged Daisy for help. I can't write a story because nothing happens to me. Are you kidding? She said. I've written tons of stories about you. She began pulling her stories out of her desk. Look at this one, she said. Remember that time you let me brush your hair? And this one, remember that time you knocked down all the crayons? Oh, and remember that time you painted your nails with a black marker? I thought, I'll never be a great writer like Daisy. Then Daisy stapled all her stories together. Click, click. Wow, she said. This book is already 13 pages. Click, click. Can I use the stapler? I asked. I was really good at stapling. But you have nothing to staple, said Daisy. You have to find a story first. This is really good stuff. So I looked for stories out the window, in the aquarium, in my desk. And when my teacher wasn't looking, I looked for stories on the floor. But still no stories. Lying under my desk reminded me of lying in the grass at the park. I closed my eyes and imagined I was at the park. Just like that time, a little inchworm crawled on my knee. The sun was shining right in my eyes. Squinting, I picked up the wiggly inchworm and looked at it closely. And that's when the teacher found me. What's your story about? She said. I opened my eyes. I saw an inchworm. Wonderful, she said. I can't wait to read what you wrote. But there was no inchworm story. I sat down and tried to write about the inchworm, but nothing right away. I got stuck. Do you know any inchworm stories? I asked Daisy. She just rolled her eyes and kept on writing. And then my teacher said, writers, come to the rug, time to share. Ralph, why don't you go first? Said the teacher. I pretended I had lost my paper. It didn't work. I walked to the front of the rug. It took a long time. I held my paper against my chest so no one could see it. I was at the park, I said. An inchworm crawled on my knee. It was quiet. My heart went thump, 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 thump. That's when I looked at Daisy. Wow, really? Did it feel squishy, Ralphie? Did you take it home? And then everyone started asking me questions. Did your mom let you keep it? Did you touch it? Was it a baby? Was it a girl? Did it tickle? Did you name it? Wait a minute, I thought. Something did happen with that inchworm. Well, I picked up the inchworm and decided to name it Nick. I built Nick a house, but he just inched away. So I followed him, which is why I didn't notice that someone was following me. And then all of a sudden, this wobbly, crazy baby grabbed Nick and put him in his... Where did he put him? Diaper! I tried to be calm. Come on, baby, I said, really nicely. Give Ralphie the inchworm. It didn't work. Was this the end of Nick? But then I noticed Nick was escaping. He crawled right up the baby's stomach. Quickly, I rescued Nick and ran. And we spent the rest of the afternoon doing nothing together. The end. Everyone clapped and cheered. Yay! Show the pictures, Ralph, someone said. Hooray! I wasn't embarrassed anymore, so I did. That was last year. This year I write stories all the time. I keep finding stories everywhere. Writing tips from Ralph. Number 1, get comfortable. Number 2, it's okay for help. Number 3, you can always write about what you had for breakfast. And number 4, eat lots of chocolate. The end. Ralph tells a story. Reading makes us better today than yesterday. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.